Hey guys, it's your old pal Alice Cooper. Basically, this is Spooktacular. So you're gonna be seeing a bunch of horror movies that have a Halloween theme to it. Look for it all this month.
It's me, Alice Cooper. I'm back for another movie review. This time it's The Nightmare Before Christmas. And it's a classic, everybody seems to want to watch it on television. I won't say what television networks, but there's a lot of them that seem to want to see it every year. It's like a tradition for most people. It starts out with this really good theme music. This is Halloween. This is Halloween. This is Halloween. I can't really get into to lyrics because for copyright reasons, but I would actually post the song at the intro of this video, but I can't for obvious reasons. But anyway, basically it starts out with Jack Skeleton. He's like this king of Halloween Town, and there's also a mayor. So why does the town need both a mayor and a king? It doesn't make any sense. Uh, so basically, they're all celebrating because it's just to be Halloween, and Jack, he's the Pumpkin King, and he sings, for they basically sing for like 10 minutes, and they go. And the mayor goes, "The first award goes to the vampires for the most blood drained in a single evening." And it's funny because one of the lyrics says, "That's our job and we're not mean." Well, how can that be? That's their job and they're not mean. If the vampires are draining blood, that just doesn't make any sense. But anyway, much later on, there's this scene where this kid is getting presents from Jack, and he says, "Well, what's your name, little boy?" "Oh, that doesn't matter. Oh, here you go. I got a very special present for you." And he goes up the chimney and he says, "Merry Christmas!" And Jack Skellington is the Santa Claus, and he decides to go ahead and after his little I don't know, these little trick or treaters that are like I don't know, they're like minions for this guy, that basically they kidnap Santa Claus, and Jack Skellington approves of it, and he bringing them to the boogeyman, or whatever you want to call him, and what's funny about that is the Jack Skellington. The boogeyman, or whatever his name is, he tosses the dice and it lands on Snake Eyes, and he goes, "What? Snake Eyes?" And he pounds the table, and it switches over to a different setting of dice, after he rolls it, and that's cheating, Well, anyway, like I was saying, the present that Jack gave him, was wrapped up in a nice little, nice little bow in a box. And his parents come down, and they ask the kid, "Oh, and what did Santa bring you, honey?" And the kid opens up the present, and there's a decapitated head inside of it. He pulls the decapitated head out of the box, and the parents scream in terror. So that's a little bit messed up for a kids movie. I mean, that's just this is a kids movie, and I guess that's why this movie is rated PG, or I think it's actually rated G actually. But there's some moments in it that make it want to be rated PG. There's a few moments in it. I think it actually should be rated PG-13, to be honest. There's some scenes in it that it's scary and stuff. Too scary for kids anyway, especially little 7-year-old boys and girls. It's just like I said, it's some scary scenes in it, some scary scenes, and Jack, he goes from house to house, and the people don't really appreciate what the presents they're getting, because they're Halloween based gifts, from Halloween Town that the the townsfolk wrapped up for Jack, because they, Christmas is theirs, and they had this little song before Jack leaves, Christmas is theirs, or something like that. I can't really get into all the detail, and so basically, they scream in terror, when Jack delivers the presents, and there's this policeman that sits at the table, and that they should go ahead and do something about this, and he's flying around, and Jack finds out that he's getting shot at, and the sleigh gets shot down, and actually his little ghost dog is Zero is flying around. He's got this red nose like Rudolph. It's a total rip off of Rudolph. And he's leading the sleigh, of these dead reindeer that are guiding his sleigh through the air because they're flying, and the scientists made them for him. And Sally is one of the principal characters of the movie, and she wants to be by herself and get away from the scientists, and she poisons him twice. And he actually gets, he's so dumb, he just goes ahead and accepts the poisoning, and, with frog's breath and nightshade, and he goes, nothing more suspicious than frog's breath, and she goes, oh, I thought you liked frog's breath, and he says, I will not swallow one spoonful. You want an old man to starve? And she goes, scrumptious, because she tastes it. Well, she doesn't really taste it. There's a spoon with holes in it, and she doesn't actually taste it. And he drinks it, and gulps it up. Because and then he gets poisoned again. Like I said, he's just dumb. And Sally, she plays a principal part in the story. And at the very end, I'm going to wrap this up. They're happy. Jack Skeleton and Sally, and the title screen of the movie and on the Blu-ray itself shows basically the ending of the movie, where they're basically just standing there kissing, and I can't imagine how those two are going to be able to have children together because they're dead. And it's funny because Jack can actually tear off his head and recite Shakespearean citations. So a guy in Kentucky, he's Mr. Unlucky. And he's known with that throughout England and in France. That's a song that he sings toward the beginning of the movie. Basically, Nightmare Before Christmas is a good movie.
The Nightmare Before Christmas is definitely worth buying on Blu-ray.
So you should go ahead and see it. It's a scary movie. It's a good movie for Halloween, for kids, to sit down and watch it. This is one of my rare videos that are actually targeted toward kids as a kid audience. I do have plans to actually do Monster House at some point, and that's another kids movie, so I'm going to add that to my list of movies I'm going to be doing for Halloween, before October is up. So look for that at some point. Alright, well, go ahead and hit subscribe, watch some more videos, hit thumbs up to support the channel, and leave a comment below. And thank you for watching. Goodbye.